Coach, last week Max said the tackles have been a bit inconsistent. Has that changed this week? What do you think is the strengths, and what do you think could still be worked on?
You know, this time of year you're just trying to improve. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, you're trying not to repeat the same mistakes that you made the day before, and I think they've done a great job of doing that. You're trying to stack your good days on top of your good days, you know, so you can make progress. And they're grinding every day. You know, are they perfect? No, nobody, you know, on our side of the ball is right now. But you know, we're working to be perfect. You know, so they're doing a great job with that.
Randy, sorry. Since you got here, what has been the biggest thing you've wanted to improve or address? Like when you assessed what you had, what have been your main things you've been trying to work on with these guys?
You know, I've coached for a while now, you know, so I have a way I like to do things. But you know, one thing I want to be is fundamentally sound. You know, whatever scheme we're doing, and then I want these guys to be able to play fast and play physical. You know, and you know, with good pad level, with great bases, and you know, I always talk about, you know, have a plan for your eyes, your hands, and your feet. You know, not in that order, but you know, if my eyes are in the right direction, my feet will be stepping right, and then when I get my hands on somebody, then I can compete. You know, so that's what we're always trying to do, and these guys have done a great job of buying into that, and like I said, we're improving every day.
Coach, Mac was saying earlier in camp that unlike the NFL, there's no preseason in college football, so sometimes it can be difficult to, you know, grade your team when you're only going against the same people every, you know, week in, week out. So do you work with Coach Cross occasionally to say, hey, let's have the D-line show us something different, something a little different, you know, something like that?
Yeah, I mean, that's true all the way across the board. I mean, if they want to see something that, you know, South Carolina does on offense, we'd be glad to insert, you know, but whatever we have that's similar to that, you know. So we do a lot of things because, you know, we're all in this together, you know, and we got to help each other. And that's usually the other side is your best source of information. Hey, is this a problem for our defense, you know, or and vice versa. So our staff's done a great job with that.
When you speak to Diego Town's improvement in the last, well, since you've been here, really?
You know, I think Diego's just gotten a little bit better every day. You know, he's pushing to get on the field, and he will. You know, what the starting lineup looks like or anything like that right now, we're still working on that. But no, he's doing a great job, and I'm pleased with his progress.
Andy, earlier in camp, Matt was talking about the run scheme kind of being a bit of a collaboration between you, Freddie Kitchens, Larry Porter, and of course Chip Lindsey. What has it been like, kind of the collaboration, you know, with the other coaches to kind of maximize the running game?
Well, you got a lot of experience, a lot of great minds in our offensive room, you know, and so it's just fun to hear. You know, like I said, I've done things my way for a long time, but it's fun to hear different takes on different things, and then you have Clyde and Freddie in there that can give you an NFL take on things, which just expands it, you know, even more. The thing that you really honestly got to be careful with is just, you know, everything's a good idea, you know what I'm saying, but you got to hone in on what your guys are going to be able to do best, and I think that's where we're at right now. We're getting closer to that.
Yeah, and I guess kind of going off that a little bit, like what is kind of that balance between, you know, what you want to do as an offense, running the ball, in comparison to, I guess, kind of the personnel that you have and kind of what, like you said, what their strengths are?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we want to be multiple running the football. You know, we don't want to be one-dimensional. We want to give teams different looks, and you know, at the same time, when you want to look complicated but be simple. You know, and I think that's always a challenge for offenses. You know, give defenses different looks where they have to account for different bodies here and there. But at the end of the day, your guys are doing the things that are fundamentally sound. You know, so that's always a challenge, and we're doing a good job with that.
How close or far away is Will Barnes to being a competent left tackle? It's obviously a new position for him. Where would you rate where he is on the scale of where he needs to be?
A+. I mean, he's doing you know, he's, like I said, he's one of those guys that he plays extremely hard. He's eager to learn every day, and he's a humble kid, you know, and he doesn't like to, you know, lose in competition, you know, and he takes coaching very well, and you know, I'm pleased with where he's at right now.
Is that, to follow up on that, when you said he doesn't like to lose in competition, is that something just personally as a coach that you like to see, you know,
yeah.
regardless of execution and all that. You just like to see that from a guy.
You know, there's some things you can coach as a coach, and then there's other things that are very difficult to coach. And you know, competitive spirit, that's one of the things that's difficult to coach. You know, you can, you know, look and try to be creative ways to create edges, but at the end of the day, that guy has to have a fire within inside of him that you know, he doesn't like to lose, and he loves to play football.
How many guys you think you got right now ready to play? If you had to, you said you didn't have nobody penciled in as starters, but how many guys are in the rotation, you think?
Well, the goal, you know, typically the goal would be to have 8 guys that you can plug in really at any time, and I think we're really close to that right now.
Coach, can you talk about kind of Corey Gaynor and how his kind of veteran status on the group has been impactful?
Yeah, Corey, he loves to play football. I mean, he's, you know, he eats it up. He's a student of the game, loves to compete, you know, and he's exactly what you need at that position. You know, he's doing a great job here. He's one of the heart and soul members of our football team for sure.
Randy, between Willie Lampkin, John Adorno, and Ed Montellis, you got 3 guys for 2 guard spots. Whoever doesn't start, you know, it looks like, I guess Willie and John have sort of been first up. I don't know, scripted is not the right word, but will you try to stick to something where the 3rd guy comes in on the 3rd series? Like, is that something you want to try to, I don't know, force yourself to do? Like, how does that work?
Like I was saying, if you got 8 guys that can play, you know, you can plug them in, you know. In this, you know, maybe this guy isn't quite as good as the other guy, but he is when the other guy's tired. You know what I'm saying? So if you can keep your guys fresh and keep them with an edge, and you know, keep them playing fast, playing hard, that's always the goal.
Coach, you talked about you know, the offensive line and the running game a little bit, but how is this line coming together as far as pass blocking? Because you got a quarterback who's going to be dropping back a lot and throwing a lot.
Yeah, you know, they've done a great job with it up to this point, and you know, it's something that we got to continue to improve on. You know, but you know, our focus is just being fundamentally sound on what we're doing, whether it's running the ball or whether it's throwing the ball. And you know, obviously Drake back there, he does a lot, you know, to scare defenses, we'll say. But one of the things that he does the most, I would say, is extend plays and make plays with his feet. You know, so pass pro for us is huge right there, but it's also nice having a guy that is a little bit mobile back there too. You know.
We've heard so much about we got to be more physical, we got to be more physical, we got to be more physical. Would you say this was a soft group when you got here? I don't know if soft's the right word, but like, where was it?
You know, everybody's got different styles, you know, and some people in the O-line, they're okay with stalemates and covering bodies up, you know, and there's plays where that's all you want to do, and then there's other plays where you want to come off and, you know, try to dent the line of scrimmage and bloody somebody's nose, you know, so that's always a challenge with them. These guys, they've done everything I've asked them to do, and you know, I'm looking forward to watching them play, you know, on the second, right? Yeah, on the second.
Randy,
Last word for coach.
Talk about Drake's mobility just a second ago. How much does that kind of help offensive line unit? Does it take pressure off him at all, or just kind of what does that?
Well, it slows the defense down. I mean, you know, I actually played D-line in high school and a little bit in junior college, and one of the most exhausting things on the field is chasing the quarterback. And you know, if you get right there, and it's 3rd and 10, and then he scrambles and gets a first down, you got to reset again. Man, that is exhausting. And so you just love what it does to their mentality, because you know, they may get close, but it's hard to finally get there. You know what I'm saying? So no, we love that about them, and that's always something that's, you know, a little bit of a plus for sure.
All right. Thanks, Randy.